Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Jeep Renegade Adventures page, where I will share my videos made while we're on the trail or ride, or in this case, what are my modifications. I have always loved Jeeps. Since I was a kid, I would look in all of them how they could climb big hills, pull folks from ditches in the wintertime, or cross creeks to go fishing. These things could go anywhere, and I imagine someday owning one myself. The Jeep brand has inspired an entire category of recreational four-wheel drives and SUVs, making four-wheel drive a household term and numerous versions of military light vehicles worldwide. In 2010, the American Enterprise Institute called the Jeep one of the most influential designs in automotive history. Its silhouette and slotted grille are perhaps even more instantly recognizable than the VW Beetle and has evolved into the currently produced Jeep Wrangler, long after the demise of the original Jeep design. But this is focused on the BU, the little toaster Jeep, my Jeep, the Renegade Trailhawk. I purchased my Renegade Trailhawk in January of 2021. Since then, I've made several modifications, but some information on those modifications are hard to find or even confusing. Let's see if I can help, but please first give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you find the information helpful. All the links that I mentioned in this video are linked in the description. I also want to say that they were researched and purchased by yours truly. But if some lovely company wants to sponsor some content, I'd be up for that. The default halogen headlights were not bright enough from the factory. I didn't see the need to fork over an additional $1,000 for a factory upgrade, so I upgraded the headlights and fog lights to Xtreme LED from Headlight Revolution. And again, those links are down below. But as you can see, the headlights, even the daytime, were actually improved vastly over the default ones. In order to properly attach a roof rack or secure items to the roof rack, I purchased BougeRV Crossbars. I researched other crossbars and liked them, but the BougeRV makes sense as they are quiet and I don't plan to leave the rack attached full time. Now, when I say quiet, I've seen other crossbars that make a lot of wind noise, either from the rubber pieces that are below, the rubber pieces on top, and not having those particular pieces in place or not securely in place. So the whistle from that was not something I really liked. Roof racks. Every Jeeper wants one. But which one did I go with and why? Well, I picked the Maxhaul 46 by 36 by 4.5. And that particular roof rack is a smaller roof rack, and it would fit my right line gear bag. Now, my right line gear bag, something I'm already going to talk about, but again, it's just a waterproof bag you can find on the internet. Fits it very well. I really enjoyed this assembly as I painted this with black truck bed liner, but first added a few, well, let's call it bling. So several of the Jeep emblems were added to the actual rack before I painted it. And of course, it looks great to me, and it looks like something a Jeep would actually have put together. So I really like it. Did you know that a Jeep Renegade Trailhawk has a better approach angle than a KL Cherokee Trailhawk? By the way, I will just call them Renegade or Cherokee from this point forward. The Renegade has an approach angle of 30.5, where a Cherokee has 29.9. It beats its own breakover at 25.7 versus 22.9, and departure 34.3 versus 32.2. The little toaster even gets close to the Wrangler two-door breakover angle, but the Wrangler beats it at 25.7 for the Renegade versus the 25.3 for the Wrangler. But it is close. Now, first, it's not a Wrangler. It has much less articulation and doesn't have real lockers or sway bar disconnect, but you can get more ground clearance by improving your approach, breakover, and departure angle by installing a lift kit. The Trailhawk comes from the factory with a zero point 0.8 additional spring lift than the regular Renegade, and I wanted to have more clearance in my breakover angle, so I had a Teraflex Renegade 1.5 lift kit installed in my local mechanic. I also mixed in to make the mixture a nice, you know, bubbly formula with a Toyo Open Country AT3 tire, which made it more aggressive off road, and a Supreme suspension 1-inch hub-centric wheel spacers. Now, a little note, if you're going to install wheel spacers, go with the hub-centric ones. They're safer. You do not want to go without a hub-centric wheel spacer. They are extremely dangerous. You're putting your family and whoever else driving the vehicle in danger if you're not using hub-centric ones. But man, did those things give my Jeep a great stance. I now have 10.2-inch clearance beneath it. By the way, the link for that is down below as well. All the links, as I mentioned previously, are down below in the description. The Trailhawk comes from the factory with numerous skid plates beneath it, but not with a rear diff skid plate. Come on, Jeep, really? Why do I need a rear differential skid plate, you ask? Well, if you're crossing massive rocks in a creek like I did over land between lakes in Kentucky, I was very glad indeed. I took the wrong line and that actually smacked that lovely rear diff skid plate. Got scratch marks to prove it. Valkyrie makes that, which actually make numerous items for the Renegade, and that is a 1/4-inch steel plate, and of course, again, covers the rear diff. I think it not only looks good, but it would give my rear differential proper protection for the years to come for the off-roading I plan on doing. I also painted it with black truck bed liner as a base and added Colorado red as a top coat to match the Jeep. I think it looks great. Really cool underneath there, man. As previously stated, the Trailhawk comes from the factory with numerous skid plates beneath it, and it does have one on the center drive shaft, but it functions more of a heat shield than a true skid plate. So I changed that one as well with a Valkyrie drive shaft skid plate. And just like before, I painted it with a black truck bed liner as a base and added Colorado red as a top coat to match the Jeep. Love it. I love the modifications that I've done to my Renegade Trailhawk. If you ask, what is my favorite? I would say my Teraflex lift kit. But ask, what is most practical? I would say the BougeRV Crossbars and the Max Haul roof rack, as they can be used out of the box. Maybe the question you're asking is, do I need to do any or all these modifications? The answer is maybe. What do you plan on doing with the Renegade that you have? Is it a Trailhawk? Is it a Sport? Is it a Latitude? Is it 2-wheel drive or is it 4-wheel drive? How are you making it your own? Are you planning on staying on the pavement? If so, maybe don't go for the lift kit as it adds additional stress to your drivetrain. Are you planning on going off-road, but on the lighter side? I would suggest the lift kit, but really point you towards the Valkyrie rear diff cover and the actual center drive shaft plates. Protect your undercarriage, man. Those things are expensive. I hope this video was informative to you. And if you have any questions, drop me a line and I'll answer if I can. Thanks, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.